What's up, everyone? My name is Gameplay Patriot, and welcome to my first Roadmap Roundup. Oh, there's some good content in this one, I do believe. It's regarding the next patch, 4.4.0. Obviously, the next patch, as it was announced at CitizenCon this year. Dude, when I heard that it was coming out next month, back during CitizenCon, I was really excited. I'm still excited. A little less excited knowing that we're gonna have not the full system out yet, but honestly, I'm understanding about it. I'm actually kind of happy that they're to me releasing it a little bit by a bit, um, and rather than having a completely broken mess that we never go into, and uh, you know, maybe it'll just be better performance wise going from little to the full fledged system. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. If you think of anything comment wise about how the roadmap is, um, and you want to mention anything of your own thoughts, please feel free to put it down in the comments below, or maybe even stop by my Twitch. Shameless plug. You can share your thoughts there. Anyway, let's get into it. Initially, 4.3.2, all those cards have been set to released of the kill shot, the pulverizer, the new Vandal-inspired knife, Paladin, the Stinger, the Shiv, and mission pickup on location has been set to release, and as well as monocular rage finders been set to release. In my opinion, with the monocular, rather, I think they need to go back and fix it more before they actually set it to release. More or less, just existing in game but tentative, in my opinion, because the main function of it is, or the main bit of it's kind of broken, where you don't get to see the UI. Um, it just looks a little funky, in my opinion. I don't know. That's just me though. Anyway, moving on to 4.4.0. Quick before I just don't have to say it every single time. Each one that we talk about here is the card has been set to tentative. Quick disclaimer for people who are newer to Star Citizen: tentative does not 100% guarantee that it's coming out in this next patch, as we've seen in more recent patches with AI SPS turrets. Um, they didn't really. They've been like putting it out next, like, oh, this is the next patch, push it back to another patch. It took a couple, like, one or two patches to get out into the actual game. Even though I haven't personally seen them in game, but I've been kind of busy with other stuff, so I haven't really gotten much experience, much time into this most recent patch. First one up is new Wicklow ship offerings. Just two different ships that we can earn through the Wicklow system. The RSI Meteor, which is a chassis variant of the Mantis. And all in all, it's not the best ship ever. Um, just practically wise, unless they buff it or they go back and change how things work. But it does pack a punch somewhat, and it's a fun little ship, especially with the John Wick style um, weapon locker. That's kind of fun, a little bit different. I'm really happy with how that turned out. And then the second one up is for my boy Active. The Guardian MX will be now available to be earned in game with Wicklow. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm actually excited. I'll probably try to pick up a Guardian MX myself. I know Active will probably try it as well. But yeah, all of these will have upgraded components with a unique base livery. These rewards can be unlocked through completing Wicklow contracts. So yeah, for people who've done Wicklow, let me know how that works. I've never actually done Wicklow myself, other than the base that initial mission with Wicklow. I'm getting him like some like soda and a burrito. Uh, I've done that, but outside of that, I haven't done much. So I do have Wicklow favors though, for some reason. I don't know how I got them, but they're there. Next up is the shotgun pistol triple down. The little image will be up on screen for you. It's a pistol with a drum mag, a bolt. It's a bolt action drum mag fed triple barrel pistol. Now, I know a lot of people are like, well, this is kind of pointless, especially with the changes that they did with the med gun being on your pistol slot now. Yes, and I understand you, and yes, that is a thing. However, a good workaround if you want to run with a pistol. In my experience, I've done this personally multiple times. Even though I don't really run with pistols that often, it's possible to do it via using a lifeguard medical attachment for your multi-tool, and then you have that for you, that canister that has the med gel in there for you, and put that on. So put that medical attachment on your multi-tool, and put the multi-tool on your multi-tool slot on your hip, and you can now open up a slot for you to have a pistol and also a med gun at the same time. CIG devs, if you're listening to this, please don't change that. I don't like, I'm a medic. I run with two medical guns, so please don't change that from on me. I really appreciate it. I would really appreciate it if you don't. Uh, but anyway, moving on. So you can put that multi tool on your hip and then run with a pistol if you want to have a pistol and a med gun at the same time. That is working currently in this most recent patch still. So yeah, exciting stuff there. And obviously you can see in the picture, it looks like there's one barrel, but if you zoom in closely, you can see how there is a second one peering over the back of that foremost barrel. So you can see at least two. I'm guessing that's gonna be like the same but alternate on the other side. So yeah, interesting stuff there. Interesting stuff. I am excited to see that in game. It's a little quirky gun, and I like quirky guns. I like stuff with personality. Okay, so cool stuff there. Moving on to the next bit, we have the missile launcher boom tube. I'll try to pull up a picture of that on screen. I don't have one in front of me as recording this video, but basically it's like a metal pipe with a launching device with 3 grenades duct taped to the end of it. It is a unique missile launcher. I I find it quite interesting. It's more the missile launchers we have now with the Artemis missile launcher. It shoots like a series of like 3 or so missiles, so it's not just one missile, more like a volley. With this, I'm guessing it's gonna be more like a javelin and a javelin RPG in real life, like an RPG rather than a missile launcher, um, functionality wise. So yeah, I'm excited to see that. Um, it's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna try to get one in game um, when the patch drops because it's just a fun looking gun. I'm really excited to try it out. So that's been sent to tentative as well. For my haulers out there, can I get a holla? Sorry for that cringe. But we have the next two are hauling related via interstellar hauling missions, which will be very cool to have in game. An actual purpose to go from one system to the other. That isn't just, oh, I want to go to Pyro because I want to go murder a hobo, or I want to go to Stanton so I can have fun. I don't know, but an actual purpose between getting your whole sea or what have you for your cargo hauling ship, taking that to the next system. I'm not sure. It doesn't say whether or not it's going to be specifically for the whole sea. I'm guessing probably not, especially since the whole sea is so hard to is really hard to obtain. Early game, whole sea is more of a late game ship in my opinion, or at least a mid game to end game ship for haulers. So we'll see how that works when that comes into play. It might be interesting. I don't know. I'm excited for them though. Next hauling portion is exterior freight elevators. We saw this in Citizen Con. Oh boy, I have my opinions on it. Um, I think it's gonna change the landscape for us whole sea users due to the fact that Nyx and Pyro will have these exterior elevators. So I'm guessing that this is my assumption. This has not been verified by me or a dev. I have not specifically seen it. I have been more or less just speculating. But I'm guessing that exterior elevators will be eventually put out into Stanton as well, not just Nyx and Pyro. Basically eliminating automatic cargo loading. Um, so making this a lot more whole sea stuff a lot more tedious than what it is now. Granted, whole sea stuff is right now is really easy for the it's the whole sea is even right now just more of they have a capital class hauling ship, even though it's not capital class. Um, but you can solo it, and it's a little, in my opinion, a little bit broken. It needs a little bit more balancing because, yeah, it's really easy to make a buttload of money on your own. And so I'm guessing that with this change, it will make multi crew whole seas more prominent or more likely to happen now. So we'll see how that works. Next up, we have Nyx missions pack 1. It's adding first pack to the first pack of missions to Nyx using existing archetypes with a fresh new narrative spin against new enemies. Now, the new enemies being the new enemy faction, the new enemy human faction that we'll see in stations outside of Levesky. And then also, the Vandal coming to the PU for the first time. I mean, they've existed in the they've existed in Arena Commander for a long time with Endless Vandal Swarm, but this will be the first time we'll ever have the Vandal in the PU, which will be really exciting to see. Not really much to unpack there with the missions because there's going to probably be a wide variety of them that they just haven't mentioned, and so we'll see how that works out. Nyx jump points, interesting jump points between Nyx and Pyro and between Nyx and Stanton. Now, as they said in CitizenCon, the one in between Nyx and Stanton is more of a temporary one. I believe it'll go away when Castra comes out, and so we don't have to bypass Castra. So, something along those lines. So, cool stuff, cool stuff. Not really much to talk about. It's basically just the same thing as we have with the Pyro Gateway, but just to a different location. So, nothing really to touch on there too much. Vandal NPC pilots, Stinger, Glaive, Scythe, and Blade make an appearance as NPC ships flown by the Vandal. I have heard rumors, I've not verified this myself, but I believe that I've heard people say the Vandal are already piloting these ships inside Arena Commander currently in this patch. I have not tested it out personally. I might later. We'll see. But basically, the ships will be flown by the Vandal, so you can actually see the Vandal for the first time in the PU. Not just the ships, but also if they can maybe drag their dead body out of the ship. Who knows? So there's that. Sworn enemies, the next one. Implementing a new operation welcoming players to Nyx. Intersect is looking for contractors willing to investigate abandoned QV logistic stations to follow the trail of Vandal tech that was sold to ASD. Now I don't know if this is a continuation of the current storyline we have now with the facilities in Stanton and the was it Jarrett's Joycier or whatever his name is. I don't know if that's a continuation of what we have now, just now moving to a different system. Maybe the guy ran to Nyx to avoid capture in Stanton. We don't know. As this moment in time, we don't know. But maybe it's also a continuation of the ASD stuff, but in a different system, not related to just Jersey yet. I'm not 100% positive on that. I'm leaning more towards a continuation of what we have now from the Stanton facilities into Nyx, especially with the reveal of the dead Vandal in the Site B. So that's my assumption. Whether that's going to be true or not, we'll find out. Uh, Obviously, the big kahuna, the Nyx system, implementing the Nyx star system into the Precision universe. Obviously, the Nyx star system. So we'll now have 3 rather than 2. So pretty cool stuff, pretty cool stuff. One step closer to 1.0 with the 5 total planned systems for the 1.0 release. So one step closer. Awesome to see that. Really excited. And yeah. Going the next part we'll touch into what I'm about to say. Nyx will not be releasing with its planets. We've heard this from the lead developer regarding Genesis and Planet Tech, or I think he was for the lead for that. But basically, they said that they would rather wait to release the planets when Genesis is fully is out for Nyx, rather than building a temporary planet our planets like we have currently, it's a lot of wasted time on their end, and they would rather just put all their efforts into finishing Genesis and putting out these planets after the initial release. It's kind of a bummer to see them come out later than the Nick's release, but understandable, and I think that'd be a move. I would think that'd be the better choice in the situation that they have currently and how they're moving forward with it. Next up, we have the Glacium Ring, which is a dense asteroid belt located in the Nick system. I believe Delamar is located in that ring. I'm so positive on that. But so we have that asteroid belt, which I'm guessing will be a lot of Vandal raiding, like basically being jumped by the Vandals. And then we have a lot of mining in there, and I'm guessing that obviously this is where the PV logistic stations are located in. I'm guessing a lot of the gameplay initially in the Nick system will be relying on this Glacium Ring and being around it a lot. So cool stuff. We'll probably get pretty comfortable with it. So if you are used to flying into asteroids, a certain someone, practice flying around an asteroid belt before going here, because I don't want to watch you die, man. Especially since I'm your co-pilot. If you know, you know. Next up, we have Delamar. Delamar is the asteroid that Levesky is located on top of and inside of. It's a bit. I like to refer to it as more of a donut asteroid because of the borehole that's in the center that goes from, you can fly through. That's where the hangars are located for this for Levesky, and yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. I'm excited to see that. But yeah, Delamar be coming out next patch. As well as Levesky, Delamar and Levesky kind of go hand in hand, since they're the same freaking place. So, implementing Levesky, a settlement on the asteroid Delamar in the Nick system. Delamar and Levesky are not new. They are basically previously been seen in Stanton back in the day, before I even started playing back in 2024. I think I heard maybe it was taken out of the game in like 2021, 2022, around there. I'm not 100% positive, but so this stuff is new for is new for the newer players, including myself, but familiar to the people who have played in the past. So I'm excited to see it in game personally. Next up is QV services stations. Implementing abandoned QV stations across Nix, some now occupied with a new enemy faction. Now, we've touched on this earlier, I've mentioned it before, but the QV service stations are going to be more like the new, kind of like, not dungeons, but like new NPC or PvE content, I believe. Maybe a little bit of mixture of PvP in there as well between us and the new enemy human faction. Um, Obviously, it doesn't really say what is there. They didn't want to spoil that, I guess. So all we know is we'll be going there and we'll be fighting some people. We'll be shooting some bad guys, maybe good guys. I don't know. So excited to see that. Medium BattleTech armor and then Wicklow variant of that. So these are two separate cards, but basically the same thing. The medium BattleTech armor is the new medium armor that's coming to the game. Based off the design that is on the picture above, it's giving me a lot of riot gear vibes. Especially with the chest plate being looking more like a bulletproof vest and all of that. So it looks definitely looks like it's meant for more of like a combat related, nothing to like medic or like industry related. Looks definitely more combat related, especially since it's called battle tech armor. So obviously it's gonna be for combat. So, and then we have the Wicklow variant, which is basically the same thing except with a little bit more pizzazz, with the more Banu, in my opinion, looking more Banu-esque pieces that's on top of it, and a mixture of a Vandal with those tendrils coming out of the helm. So, a cool design. I'm not a huge alien armor guy personally, but it looks pretty cool, even from an outside perspective of people who aren't really big on alien armor. So, pretty cool stuff, those two. Next up we have, or last up actually, we have the new hairstyles, which their hairstyles being one hairstyle, which is like a spiky hair. Looks like the kid from down the street that your parents tell you to not interact with, depending on who you're friends with. I don't know. So, and then we have finally, I believe, 10 different beards, like a goatee, a couple different mustache options. Uh, one that really draws out to me is the top left hand of the top row. That beard immediately makes me think of King Chaos and a fantastic Twitch streamer. Shout out to him. Your beard is in game, man. Look at that. It's pretty cool. So, but yeah, pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. Um, Let me know if you guys will be using any of these facial hairs for you guys or girls who want to have facial hair. So that is the 4.4.0 roadmap roundup. A lot to unpack there, a lot to be excited for. We'll see if all of it comes out in 4.4 or if some will be pushed back. We'll see. So, if you have any opinions on what you've heard today, please drop a comment below. Let me know what you think, or stop by my Twitch um, and let me know there what you think. Uh, and I'll, if you enjoyed my first roadmap roundup, please leave a like and subscribe if you so desire to. It's not enforced, but it is free, so I would appreciate that. And we will keep you updated on what's to come, and if it does, what is coming to 4.0 or 4.4 this next patch next month. With that being said, this is Gameplay Patriot signing off, and I'll see you guys out there in the verse. Bye!